You are watching. The apocalypse is here, Innit.
Hanyana said, What do you mean? You can control the symptoms.
Jung replied, his voice unsteady. I think I can control them to a certain extent. Sweat dripped down his face as he continued. But when I'm in the infected state, my body feels absolutely awful. I don't know how long I can hold out. I'm not fully used to it yet, but he swallowed hard. I reckon I can switch back to normal whenever I want. Hanyana froze, then said breathlessly, Then that's an insane ability, isn't it? If you can trigger the symptoms at will, it means even in the middle of infected, they won't attack you. Minjun shook his head. But it freaks me out. It feels like I'm shaving years off my life. Hanyana hesitated before speaking again. Then, like we discussed before, do you reckon you can talk to them too? Minjun blinked. Communicate. I mean what we talked about before, she clarified. If you can give orders to the infected, she added quietly. You said you'd try it next time your symptoms recurred. Right, said Minjun. I did say that, but right now we don't have the luxury to do that. So I reckon we'll have to see how things go. Hanyana nodded quickly. Anyway, we've no time. Let's scarper. Now. Yeah, Minjun replied. A few moments later, outside, Minjun put on a hoodie, a cap, and a mask, completely covering himself. He cocked the pistol and muttered to himself, The handgun Sergeant Harduhun gave me. Just in case, I ought to load it. Sergeant David Briggs asked grimly, Do you really think this is possible? Controlling the zombies? That's why we're only trying it in an emergency, Hanyana replied. Suddenly, gunfire echoed in the distance. Hanyana gasped. The sergeant's gunfire. The infected immediately started running towards the sound, shrieking wildly. Krah! Rah! Minjun's eyes widened. The infected are moving now! He stepped forward and gave Hanyana and Sergeant Briggs a thumbs up. Hanyana moved towards Minjun, then suddenly stopped, staring ahead in shock, sweat on her face. A zombie burst towards her. Rah! Kia! Hanyana screamed. Now! Minjun thought desperately. He stepped in front of her and shouted, Stop right there! The infected didn't slow down. Blimey! Hanyana stared blankly. Eh? I said stop! Minjun shouted again. What's going on, Minjun? She yelled. It's still charging at me. The pistol. Minjun panicked. Bollocks! Gunfire erupted. Brat-a-tat-a-tat. Sergeant Briggs shouted, Move! Move! The infected groaned as they surged forward. Roar! Rah! Minjun and Hanyana ran. Another infected leaped, screaming wildly. The sky remained clear above them. The weather was almost peaceful. At last they reached the gates. Ha! Ha! Hanyana panted. I'm a survivor, open the door. Please, a guard shouted. You haven't been bitten anywhere, have you? Yes, she replied quickly. I haven't been bitten. You there? The guard shouted. Take off your hat. Excuse me? Hanyana pleaded. This is urgent, so please just open the door. Keep quiet. Minjun slowly removed his hat and mask, sweat dripping down his face. As you can see, he said quietly. I'm fine. The guard nodded. All right. Things are critical, so we'll let you in. But if you show even the slightest infection symptoms inside, you know what'll happen, don't you? Hanyana exhaled shakily and looked at Minjun, thinking, I hope the sergeant gets back safely. A few moments later they entered the shelter. Everyone all right? Kang Hakchul shouted. So that's where you all were, Hanyana said, relieved. Thank goodness. Looks like we all need to arm ourselves, Kang Hakchul said grimly. And get ready for an emergency. Oh really? Minjun asked. Suddenly Hanyana stiffened, staring into the distance. She spotted Choi Sujin standing with her boy toy. Without hesitation, Hanyana marched forward. Ha! Choi Sujin said, confused smack. Hanyana slapped her across the face. You flipping witch! Hanyana screamed. If you hadn't locked the door, we could have saved that child. She died because of you. Her voice cracked. She was just an elementary school kid. Crazy little! Choi Sujin screamed as she grabbed Hanyana's hair. Hanyana grabbed hers back. Witch, what did you say? Choi Sujin yelled. Do you want to die, you crazy witch? Excuse me, Kang Hakcheol shouted. What do you think you're doing? Stop her, Minjin yelled. Got any proof? Choi Sujin taunted. Proof that I locked the door, eh? Fudge? You crazy witch, Hanyena hissed. She suddenly turned. Oppa, you were there earlier. You saw it too, didn't you? You saw her lock it. The old man avoided her gaze, sweating. I don't know. Everything was so frantic I wasn't thinking straight. Hanyena froze in stunned silence. Ha! Choi Sujin laughed. So this witch is the one who killed her then? She made a mistake and killed the child, and now she's blaming me? Is this witch for real? She shouted loudly. Everyone look over here. This witch killed someone through her own mistake, and now she's pinning it on me. She's completely slandering me. What? Whispered a woman in white. What happened? Asked another woman in green. Choi Sujin pointed accusingly. If we follow the shelter rules, you deserve to be punished. You'll be executed on the spot. Did you hear me? Ha Do-yeon arrived and said firmly, Stop it. Hanyena turned towards the voice, eyes wide. Say, Sergeant, Ha Do-yeon continued calmly. Gunja Station Shelter Emergency Regulation, Article 2, Clause 1. If you deliberately abandon a survivor who could have been saved, or prevent them from escaping, you'll be punished for gross negligence. Article 4, Clause 5. If you cause confusion in the shelter through false statements, or tell serious lies that harm others, disciplinary procedures will be initiated. He paused, then coldly added, If both apply, it might not end with mere expulsion. Choi Sujin started sweating. Ha Do-yeon looked straight at her. Just as you said earlier, punishment at the level of execution. He closed his eyes. What you declared, can you stand by it? Choi Sujin clenched her fists. Yee, you're really making me repeat myself, she snapped. I'm telling you, I didn't lock the door. Show proof. Proof. Her boy toy stepped forward nervously. I saw it too. We just shut the door. We didn't lock it. Choi Sujin swallowed and forced herself to calm down. Earlier, everything was so chaotic. We just ran to safety. If it was locked, or why it was locked, I don't... You've violated multiple shelter regulations, Ha Do-yeon cut in. The only person no one can trust right now is you. Once things calm down, we'll hold an internal review meeting and thoroughly examine everything you've done. Once the facts are confirmed, you'll be held accountable accordingly. Do you understand? Choi Sujin ground her teeth, sweat pouring down her face. You think you can talk to me like that, you blasted soldier, she screamed. Do you know who I am? This on social media, I'll destroy you. Got it? Jung Minjin, Hanyena, and the others listened in silence. A few moments later, at the underground station, I drew most of them to the southern intersection, Ha Do-yeon reported, but dealing with that many infected is beyond us. We'll run out of ammunition too. Blast it, another soldier muttered. Do we just keep luring them with noise and pushing them back? There's a chance the infected might flow back this way. We need to secure as much petrol as possible, Ha Do-yeon said, and prepare Molotov cocktails. Have a flamethrower on standby at the North Plaza main gate. What? Ahn Hyung-gi shouted. You said you lured them south. Then why are they coming back here? The problem is, Ha Do-yeon said gravely, this whole situation was orchestrated by someone. Which means those scoundrels could pull the infected back here at any moment. Outside, Ma Sang-cheol scouted the area, raising his rifle. He spotted a guard at the gate. A shot rang out. The guard crumpled, never to stir again. A massive infected creature raised its head above a building. Rah! Gra-ah! Gunfire at the north outer gate, a soldier shouted. There are external intruders. I know, Ha Do-yeon muttered. Those people. The infected will come back this way. What did you say? Ahn Hyung-gi shouted. All personnel, an officer shouted. Prepare for a mass infected assault. At the same time, our priority is identifying the escaped convicts, but, Sergeant Ha Do-yeon, can you handle this? I'll track down those convicts. Ha Do-yeon replied immediately. Everyone else focus on defending against the infected.
David, he called. Where are your other mates? 3 of our lads are trapped down south or already killed in action, David Briggs reported. Right now, it's just me and one other.
Then stick close to Minjin, Hadoyon ordered. Whatever happens. Your mission is to protect Minjin. Got it? Got it, David replied. You? Hadoyon cocked his rifle. I'll find those escaped convict scoundrels first, he said quietly. Then I'll eliminate them. They're bound to be nearby. Sons of witches, David muttered. Can I come with you, Sergeant? Kang Hakshol asked. Kang Hakshol, Hadoyon said sharply. You're not fully recovered. Are you sure you can manage? There's probably 2 or 3 of them, Kang Hakshol replied. It's too dangerous for you to go alone. Jung Minjin listened quietly, his eyes drifting towards the station gates, the underground tunnel. Sunyo, Minjin suddenly asked, do you know how many survivors are here right now? There have been massive casualties in the south zone, Bai Sunyo said grimly. And too many survivors are still trapped, so it's hard to estimate. But just on the Gunja station platform alone, there are over 100 people taking shelter. If they break through all the way here, he hesitated, then we're properly in trouble, aren't we? Yeah, Minjin said softly. You could say that. Sweat dripped down his face as he looked at the signs above. He gripped the whistle in his hand. What? Bai Sunyo gasped. The sergeant said to stay hidden and not move. If the worst happens, Minjin said quietly, and this place becomes a full-blown massacre. Then what? Either way, he tightened his grip. One day, I'll have to cross this myself. So this is our chance. Now, I can cross the Han River through the underground tunnel. Light beams swept across the railway tracks, picking out infected lurking about in the gloom. Bai Sunho said, So you're telling me you're going to open the platform screen doors and nip inside, then blow a whistle to lure the infected into the tunnel, from Gunja Station, over the Han River, all the way to the next stop, Cheono Station? Right. Let's say you do manage to lure the whole bloody lot away, like the Pied Piper, just as you reckon. Then what about the massive swarm that'll line up and come chasing after you? Have you got any way to trap 'em somewhere? Oh, Byung-jun spoke up next. That's right. We don't even know how many infected are rattling about inside Line 5's tunnel. And it's about a 10-kilometer round trip to Cheono Station. This'll take forever. Jung Minjun answered calm as you like. The most realistic bet is herding them into a middle station. Guangnaru. But well, there are other stations too. The real question is how long I can keep the infection symptoms going. But I reckon I can last at least 4 to 5 hours, so I should be able to get it done in that time. Bai Sunyo frowned, but at some point, comms will get cut off. And the infected routes could get all tangled up as well. The risk is massive. Sergeant David Briggs, who couldn't understand a word of Korean, asked in confusion. What in the bloody hell are you lot on about? Oh, Byung-jun hesitated. But are you even going to get Yena's permission before you go? Jung Min-jun blinked. Huh? Permission? What are you on about? Oh, Byung-jun replied quietly, Yena's not going to let this one slide. At that moment, Han Yena came walking down towards them. What? She said. So you were all here? Sergeant Briggs gestured urgently. Yena, get over here. I need you to translate. It looks like Minjin's cooking up something completely bonkers. Han Yena stared at them in disbelief. What the bloody fuck? Young Minjin, visibly infected and faintly flushed, muttered. Ch! Busted! A few moments later. What? Han Yena shouted. No, absolutely not. You're going to go on your own and clear Line 5's tunnel by luring infected. Why now of all times? Have you lost your marbles? And why are you flipping your infection switch whenever you fancy? What if you get exposed? Young Minjin said firmly. Yena, your voice is the problem. You're going to get the lot of us caught. Yena, I know you're worried, but if we're going to cross the Han River, there's no other way. And using my infection symptoms is the most reliable method we've got. If we want to reach Gangnam, we've got to cross the river eventually anyway. Sergeant David Briggs added, Sergeant Hay told me to protect Minjin, and if the infected really don't attack him, this might actually work.
If we can get through Line 5's tunnel, this could mean we can move across all of Seoul.
Hanyena wiped sweat from her brow, her thoughts all tangled up around Jung Minjun. Jung Minjun continued, "Then what if we test it and only go as far as the next stop? Achasan Station." Bae Soonho's eyes widened. "Oh, that's not a bad idea," Hanyena snapped. "No, why are you all agreeing with this? You're really going to send Minjun alone into a tunnel crawling with infected? What if his symptoms shut off halfway through? He'll get attacked." Jung Minjun placed his hand gently on Hanyena's shoulder. "I'm saying this because I'm confident I'll be safe, Yena. I'll come back alive, so don't you worry so much. Just wait here. All right?" Hanyena froze, then turned away, flustered and sweating. "Ha! Wow, seriously? Ha ha ha. Anyone would think we're engaged the way you're sending me off to war. You thought if you said it all calm like that, I'd get all flustered and go, 'Oh, my husband, come back safe,' and let you go just like that. Ha ha. I mean, it's not like you're actually cool. Hey, good grief, this is ridiculous. Fine, do whatever you want. Whether you live or die, what's that got to do with me?" Bae Soonyo whispered to Oh Byung-jun, "Have you ever seen Yena laugh while she's this angry?" "No," Oh Byung-jun replied. "Minjun's a clueless idiot. He probably won't even notice." A few moments later, Jung Minjun jumped down onto the rails. As he looked ahead, the infected growled. "Grr! Rah!" The platform doors closed behind him. Jung Minjun gave them a thumbs up. "Close the door." Oh Byung-jun returned the gesture. "Righto." Jung Minjun raised the whistle to his lips and blew with all his might. The infected jolted. "Bah! Grr!" Bae Soonyo murmured. "Wow! Is that bloke not scared at all?" Hanyena clenched her fists. "Ha! This is bloody insane." The infected shuffled closer to Jung Minjun. "Bah! Ro—" Jung Minjun thought to himself, just as I thought. They come towards me when they hear the whistle, but they're not attacking. Sergeant Briggs whispered in awe, "I can't believe this." They really aren't attacking him. Hanyena exhaled shakily. "Phew. Please be safe, Minjun." "Good luck." Jung Minjun smiled faintly to himself. "Right then. Let's go, everyone." He walked forward, and the infected followed him like a procession. Rah! Grah! To the next station. Elsewhere, outside, Ma Sang-cheol carried a chain cutter over his shoulder. Cuckoo. As expected, there's nobody on the south entrance side. Everyone must have been drawn towards Gi-hoon's position. If things go according to plan. Once the infected break through Gunja Station's platform, more than half of those maniacs will be wiped out. After that, we sweep the remaining buildings on the south side and seize all the weapons and supplies. "You lot got 5 of us killed," he said coldly. "So it's only fair that you pay for it, right?" As he spoke, he began cutting through the fence. The lock snapped open with a sharp metallic crack. Ma Sang-cheol pushed the door open and muttered to himself, "Hey, these loudspeakers are even more useful than I expected. Good thing I grabbed a few of them. Hey. He tossed one onto the floor. The siren immediately blared. The infected stirred at once, their heads snapping towards the noise. Krah! Grek! Rah! Ma Sang-cheol's eyes widened slightly. "I'd better hide before the infected start swarming in." In another area, An Hyung-gi froze. "What? What's that noise?" Kang Hakshil frowned. "Sirens?" From the distance, infected screams echoed through the station. "Rah! Grah!" Kang Hakshil cursed under his breath. "What the bloody fox? Don't tell me entrance number 2's been breached. Have we got Molotov cocktails? Petrol?" The infected suddenly burst onto the platform. "They're over by entrance number 4, An Hyung-gi shouted. "I'll go get. Fox it!" Kang Hakshil roared. "I told you to bring 'em here already." The infected charged. "Ramag! F Fox!" Kang Hakshil gasped. Wait! An Hyung-gi shouted. "Bah!" Hanyena spun around. "What's that noise?" "Hurry!" Bae Soonho said urgently. "Let's go check it out." Outside, more infected surged towards the sound. "Krana! Stop shooting!" An Hyung-gi shouted. "Cease fire! If this breaks through, we're finished."
Entrance number 2 has been breached. Close all inner fire doors. The heavy shutters slammed down. Hanyena, Baesunyu, Byung-jun, and Sergeant David Briggs broke into a cold sweat. "What's happening?" Baesunho shouted to a civilian. "The infected broke through entrance number 2, the man yelled. "The fire doors are closing. Evacuate to the north entrance immediately." They ran. Suddenly, the shutters dropped. Han Yena was left behind. "Yena!" Baesunho shouted. "What?" Byung-jun cried. "The fire shutter! Someone didn't make it inside," Baesunyo yelled. "Please open it." Han Yena froze, her mouth falling open in shock. "Open it now!" Sergeant Briggs shouted. "Last warning! I can't open it right now," the man cried. "Hurry!" Byung-jun shouted. "Run!" Yena Baesunyo yelled. "Go back down to the platform and come up the stairs on the other side." "The other stairs!" Han Yena gasped. The infected charged towards her. "Rama!" Sergeant Briggs raised his rifle. "Good grief! Don't shoot!" Han Yena shouted. "You'll draw 'em in." "I'll run." She turned and sprinted. "If I want to go the other way like Baesunho said," she thought desperately, "I've got to go down to the platform and come back up from the opposite side. Please, fire shutter can't close. Please." From a distance. "Han Yena!" a man shouted. "This way!" She froze in confusion, then ran towards them. "Ha! Ha!" The man slammed the shutter shut. "Ba! Graw!" Han Yena collapsed, panting. "Ha! Ha! Phew!" "To this is south exit number 3, right?" she asked shakily. "That's the opposite direction from the north sector." "I checked above exit number 3, the man said. "The outer fence is still locked. We should be safe. There's no way the infected have broken through this far. Let's stay quiet for now. Once things calm down, we can move." "Ha!" Choi Soo-jin muttered. "Fox, I seriously nearly died." Han Yena stared at them in disbelief. "But why are my stepmother and this man here? And in a situation like this?" Anyway," Han Yena said shakily. "You saved me." Suddenly, Choi Soo-jin grabbed her from behind and threw her to the ground. "Kya! Ah!" Choi Soo-jin stepped forward. "Ha, Fox. I just wanted to rest for a moment. Hey, do you know why we saved you? Because of you. Do you have any idea how furious you made me? You arrogant little witch." She pressed her heel down on Han Yena. "Honey," the man said uneasily, "do you really have to do this right now? Let her catch her breath first." "Kya!" Han Yena cried. "Oh, wow," Choi Soo-jin said lightly. "I completely forgot I was wearing heels. Oops, does that hurt?" "Oh, pretty precious nuisance. You really surprised me. Saving some foolish little child like that. Ha ha ha." She sat down heavily on Han Yena, pinning her. "The Yena I know was raised like a flower in a greenhouse. Selfish, spoiled, rotten to the core. So who changed you like this, hum? Honestly, if you had any sense at all, you'd have locked the door and people like you, who can't read the situation, are the reason this place turned into such a mess. But really, more than anyone else, you're the one I've wanted to kill the most. My useless stepdaughter, with my own hands. Do you know why? Because your smug little face irritates me. And if your father dies, all his money goes to you instead of me. Though I suppose that doesn't even matter any more in this world. Ha ha ha." Her smile twitched. "That door," she said softly. "I was the one who locked it, Yena." She smiled without flinching, her eyes closed as she finished speaking. The zombies swarmed Han Yena's location. "Krrr, kwar." Choi Soo-jin was still sitting on top of Han Yena as she spoke calmly. "Oh, that's right. And as for your idiotic, spineless biological older brother, shall I tell you what happened to him? Whether he's dead or alive? Aren't you curious?" Han Yena began to sweat as she stared at Choi Soo-jin. A few days at Han Yena's apartment building, Choi Soo-jin began recounting her story. "Your biological father, Han Sang-chol. From the very beginning, the reason Han Sang-chol divorced your biological mother was because of his affair with me. Even after I remarried him, I carried on having affairs with other men, and your father was vaguely aware of it. One day, he told me he intended to divorce. Your father seemed to be planning carefully, collecting evidence of my infidelity. But I tried to stop the divorce by using your father's weaknesses against him. Choi Soo-jin continued. He said he'd eventually file for divorce. How much are his assets worth? He can never divorce. Ha ha! Park Do-hyun replied. No, Fluff, how much is that fool's assets anyway? Choi Soo-jin answered. 100 billion won. She lit her cigarette as she spoke. Park Do-hyun was stunned, his jaw dropping. Oh, 100 billion won? Is it even possible for a doctor to earn that much?
Park Do-hyun, age 41, businessman, Choi Soo-jin's lover. Choi Soo-jin said, Of course it's not 100 billion won in cash. It's mostly land. His father-in-law was a property magnate who used to lease land to tenant farmers. He also owned several buildings in Gangnam, so in terms of current market value, it all adds up to around 100 billion won. Park Do-hyun said, Fluff. Then tell him to divorce immediately and split the assets. If you divorce, wouldn't you get a huge share of the assets too? Choi Soo-jin replied, I looked into it. I won't get much, far less than you think. From his perspective, they're assets acquired before remarriage. So in principle, they're not even subject to division. Realistically, I can't even guarantee a few billion won. She continued, I only gain inheritance rights if that fool dies before the divorce. But as long as his biological daughter, Han Yena, is alive, I can't get all of it. Realistically, for me to get all of his assets, both him and his biological daughter, Han Yena, have to die. Park Do-hyun began sweating in shock. But it looks like he's preparing for divorce now. What are you going to do? There's tons of evidence of your affair with me. Choi Soo-jin laughed. Ha ha ha, he can never file for divorce anyway. I spoke to a lawyer I know. If he gets implicated in issues like illegal funds or nominee accounts, his assets could completely evaporate. Meaning, I've got a firm grip on his weaknesses. She leaned closer. Oppa, I want to take all of his assets, you know. Let's make a plan together. A way to get rid of both him and Han Yena. And on the very first day, the zombie apocalypse broke out. Han Yena suddenly shoved Choi Soo-jin and said, Crazy witch! Choi Soo-jin shrieked. Ah, what? Crazy witch? Does she want to die? Park Do-hyun grabbed her and said nervously, honey, she's too drunk. Choi Soo-jin sneered. Oh, seriously, care. She's exactly like her blasted mother, I tell you. Even that vulgar way of speaking is just like that woman's. Ha ha ha. What's the point of being good at studying when she's a complete piece of rubbish with a thoroughly rotten personality? Ha 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 ha. If you're going to leave, hurry up and get out, you fluffing witch. Han Yena left the apartment. Choi Soo-jin said coldly, That was the very day you left home. After kicking you out of the house and rolling around in bed with Oppa again. She groaned softly. Ah, Park Do-hyun replied, and it feels so good. Choi Soo-jin gasped. Oppa. She continued her story. Suddenly, your father burst in. Han Sang-chol shouted, What in the world are you doing? Kyak, get out of my house right now. What's wrong with him? Choi Soo-jin continued. And a struggle broke out between Han Sang-chol and... I'm telling you, go ahead and file for divorce if you want to. I'll bury you too. Han Sang-chol snarled, This crazy witch. Fine. There won't be any difference whether we divorce now or not. Choi Soo-jin scoffed. What? Han Sang-chol said calmly. Because even if I die, not a single penny of my assets will go to you. Choi Soo-jin sneered. You and I are still legally married, you know. Don't you know that if you die, inheritance rights come to me too? Han Sang-chol replied. I prepared in advance for such a case, so that all my assets go to Yena. Choi Soo-jin froze. What? She realized the truth. Han Sang-chol had already designed everything so that all his assets would go to Han Yena, even accounting for his own death as a variable.
Choi Soo-jin whispered, "Then if you die, and Han Yena dies too." Han Sang-cheol began sweating. "Then it's true that I'll get all of your assets, right? Han Sang-cheol, this crazy witch." Suddenly, Choi Soo-jin froze in shock. Park Do-hyun was standing behind Han Sang-cheol, holding a knife. Blood spilled from Han Sang-cheol's back. "Ah! Kyak!" Choi Soo-jin said. "It was an unforeseen, spontaneous situation, but in the end, Park Do-hyun killed your father." She turned towards Park Do-hyun, her voice trembling. What are you doing, Oppa? Why now? Are you insane?" Park Do-hyun replied nervously. "Well, we were going to kill him anyway," Choi Soo-jin shouted. "This is insane! How could you stab him to death, you fool? We agreed to make it look like he and Han Yena died together naturally." Suddenly, a voice echoed through the building. "This is an announcement from the management office. A severe emergency has occurred within the complex. Please do not come outside and remain indoors. We repeat." Choi Soo-jin froze. "Emergency," she muttered to herself as realization dawned, and just then the zombie apocalypse began. Her voice shook. I'm so scared, Oppa. What should we do?" "But as we take the car and leave Seoul right now?" Park Do-hyun's eyes lit up. "But isn't this actually the perfect timing? There are so many deaths happening in this apartment complex right now. Wouldn't it be possible to fake it as an accident related to that? Since there are already bodies scattered about, if we chuck his body out the window, we could make it look like those countless murderers killed him." Choi Soo-jin hesitated. "The country's in an emergency right now. What's the use of assets or anything else? We've got to save ourselves first," Park Do-hyun muttered. "Who knows? Later, when this situation calms down." Choi Soo-jin clenched her teeth. "Then let's first drop that man's body out the window and quickly get ready to escape. Back to the present." Choi Soo-jin laughed softly. "Well, that's what happened. Kuwa, darn it. The more I think about it, the funnier it gets. Ha! Your biological mother abandoned you and ran off to America. Your foolish biological father was completely manipulated by me after remarrying me. He couldn't even divorce because I held his weaknesses. In the end, he was tragically killed by Park Do-hyun, my lover. Our Yena. An orphan, Oh, how pitiful. Our parentless Yena. Kia ha ha." She tightened her grip around Han Yena's neck. "Now, just die." Han Yena gagged. "Kyuk," Choi Soo-jin whispered. "After killing you, who knows? Maybe peace will return to this world." Han Yena struggled weakly. "Kia, Kieg." Choi Soo-jin continued, "If that happens, the value of that Gangnam land your father owned will skyrocket again, right? If you die too, all that land will be mine." Suddenly, Han Yena pulled out the knife Kang Hakshol had given her. Park Do-hyun shouted, "Honey, be careful." Choi Soo-jin gasped in shock as Han Yena slashed her arm. "Kiyak! Ah, darn it!" Park Do-hyun snarled, "This crazy witch." Han Yena gripped the knife with both hands. Sweat streamed down her face as she warned, "Don't come any closer, or I'll kill you. Don't come near me." Park Do-hyun laughed darkly. "Ha! Fudge, seriously. You blasted witch." He kicked Han Yena. "Ku! You filthy rotten witch." "Do you want to die, you wretched witch?" He stepped on her chest. Ah, he sneered. "Even if you foolishly swing that knife, it won't even reach me, you know." Nearby, Choi Soo-jin whimpered like a frightened child. Forsaken hell. I'm bleeding. I'm bleeding. "Kill that witch, Oppa," Park Do-hyun snapped. "What did you say? Where's her knife?" "Fudge, Suddenly the shutters shattered. A zombie lunged forward and grabbed Park Do-hyun's head. "Huh? Jung, 40, got it." Choi Soo-jin screamed. "Oh, Oppa! Ugh. Whack. Kuwa." A sickening popping sound echoed as liquid splattered across the wall. Parkaya! Park Do-hyun, Oppa! Han Yena and Choi Soo-jin fled as zombies swarmed behind them. "Krr, kra, ha, ha." They burst out of the station. Hanyena reached the door and froze. Blast it! It's locked! She kept running, forcing herself onward, and climbed onto the roof. She barely managed to pull herself up. I've got to run! She stood, leaped over the fence, and fell hard to the ground. Kyok. Behind her, Choi Soo-jin gasped. This is insane! She looked back and saw the zombies closing in. Krah! Kruk! Fudge! She jumped, crashing to the floor. Kyok! She stood up and saw Hanyena running ahead. Krah! I've got to hide. She chased after her, panting. My legs hurt so much. Suddenly, Choi Soo-jin grabbed Hanyena from behind, yanking her down. Hanyena sat up and froze. A child stood before her. Her memories flooded.
A little girl running towards the gate, chased by a zombie. Hanyena charging forward, knife raised. Another zombie tackling the girl to the ground. The child lying motionless, back in the present. The girl tilted her head and croaked, "Kuh." They stared at each other in silence. The little girl zombie growled at Hanyena. "Grrr." She tilted her head, thinking, then growled again. "Grrr." As she stared closely at Hanyena, her mouth twisting strangely, Hanyena began to sweat and froze in place. They stared at each other in silence. Suddenly, the little girl zombie turned her head and looked behind Hanyena. Choi Soo-jin, who was standing there, broke into a cold sweat and glanced back, confused. Then, without warning, the little girl zombie sprinted straight towards Choi Soo-jin. "Kya!" Choi Soo-jin screamed in shock. "Krah! What is this?" She turned and ran, screaming, "Kya! Do not come closer!" The little girl zombie chased after her, snarling, "Krah!" Hanyena stared, stunned. It didn't attack me. Suddenly, another zombie came charging towards Hanyena. "Krah!" Another zombie followed behind it, gasping as they ran. They chased after Hanyena relentlessly. "Krah!" Hanyena ran as fast as she could. Huff, huff. A sharp pain shot through her ankle. "I can't run any faster." She tripped and fell hard onto the ground. Groaning, she lifted her head and looked ahead. An electric scooter. The zombies continued charging towards her. "Krah!" She scrambled up, grabbed the electric scooter and prayed silently. Please have at least a little battery left." She turned it on. The display flickered, then lit up. 2 bars of battery. The zombies roared. "Krah!" Hanyena jumped onto the scooter and took off. One zombie tried to grab her silky, soft hair but lost its balance and stumbled. "Krah! Keek!" Hanyena glanced back, sweating, then sped away. A few moments later, the scooter suddenly slowed, then stopped. The battery had run out. She froze and stared at the screen. No bars left. "No! The battery's already—" She stepped off the scooter and walked forward weakly. Where am I? I ran in such a panic that I don't even know the way anymore. Suddenly zombies poured out of a nearby alley. "Krah!" Hanyena's eyes widened in shock. She turned and ran again. "I'm going crazy, seriously!" "Krah!" She forced herself to move faster. Huff, huff. "I can't just die like this. I can't die like th." Pain exploded through her ankle. "Krah!" A zombie tackled her to the ground. "Kya! Kak!" Hanyena struggled desperately, pushing against its chest to keep its jaws away. Sweat poured down her face as she thought hazily. So this is the end. She squeezed her eyes shut. Jung Minjin. Suddenly the pressure vanished. The zombie was lifted into the... Song Ji-ho grabbed it as if it were a small child and slammed it into the ground with brutal force. Hanyena pushed herself up and stared at him. Her eyes caught on the bracelet around Song Ji-ho's wrist. Another zombie lunged forward. "Kak! Krah!" Song Ji-ho stepped in front of her. "Hide behind me." Hanyena scrambled behind him. A few moments later, inside Song Ji-ho's hideout, Hanyena lay curled up on the bed, wrapped tightly in the blanket. She sniffed the air. It smells like air freshener. Kind of like Jung Minjin's place. She suddenly looked at Song Ji-ho, shocked and confused. "What?" he asked. "You didn't run away."
She pulled the blanket up higher, hiding. Song Ji-hoo set a medical kit down beside the bed. Han Yena's heart pounded. What is it? What are you trying to do to me? Move the blanket, Song Ji-hoo said calmly. Her feet were exposed. Kya! She screamed. If you touch even a single hair on my... I won't let you, Ji. Song Ji-hoo cut her off. It feels like your ligament's stretched. You should ice it. And you'll need some rest as well. Song Ji-hoo gently placed an ice pack against Han Yena's ankle. Han Yena stiffened in shock and looked up at him. Song Ji-hoo spoke again. Why? Why did you save me? Han Yena clenched the blanket. Last time you threw me into a room with infected, and you tormented me. Song Ji-hoo replied calmly. Even if I'm a death row escapee, I don't just kill anyone. You need to get a little dirtier than that. Huh? Han Yena blurted out. Annoyed, she snapped. Get dirtier? What does that even mean? I knew it. All men are the same. You pervert. There's only one person in this world who's allowed to dirty me, and that is LKSDF Yokesti. Her voice trailed off into embarrassed mumbling. Song Ji-hoo stared at her, confused. Just from looking at you, he said slowly, you seem like you lived a very protected, princess-like life. I told you last time, too, about what you need to do to survive. He glanced at her ankle. Anyway, with that leg, it'll be hard to move right away. So you'll need to rest here for a few days and recover. Huh? Han Yena exclaimed. No way. The shelter's in chaos right now. I've got to find my friend. Ah, Song Ji-hoo muttered. Those people from earlier. Well, if you really insist on going, I won't stop you, but if you move around with that foot, you'll be attacked by zombies immediately. If you really want to know what's happening, I'll go there, check it out, and tell you what it's like. There are some troublemakers I need to find anyway. He stood up. Han Yena frowned. Just a while ago you even tried to kill my friends. How am I supposed to trust you? The target's changed now, Song Ji-hoo replied. Anyway, I'm going to look for them and check the situation. If I'm not back by 6, assume I'm dead and survive on your own. If you don't trust me, you can run away right now too. I put some food in the fridge. So if you're hungry, eat whatever you want. Han Yena sat there in silence, sweating. Song Ji-hoo turned and left the room. What the heck is he, really? She muttered. Elsewhere, inside another building. Kya! Kra! Zombies shrieked in the distance. Kang Hakshol and Ha Do-hyun moved cautiously down the corridor, searching for the other inmates. They're definitely on this floor, Kang Hakshol said. Just how much ammunition have they got? Ha Do-hyun muttered. It feels like it should be running out by now. Suddenly he stopped at a corner. Peeking carefully, he whispered to himself, There they are. He stared at a nearby door. No talking at all. Judging from the shooting pattern, it looks like just one person. Every second counts. I've got to stop this as fast as possible. He kicked the door open. The moment he rushed inside, he froze. Staring back at him was his own reflection in a mirror. The noise was coming from a Marshall Bluetooth speaker placed on the floor. At the same time, Ma Sang-chil stepped out from the side, pointing his rifle at Ha Do-hyun. Ma Sang-chil was drenched in sweat. As Ha Do-hyun stood frozen in shock, Ma Sang-chil raised his gun and aimed straight at him. Suddenly, multiple gunshots rang out. A bullet struck the wall. Ha Do-hyun staggered as one shot tore into his shoulder, blood spraying across his uniform. At that very moment, Kang Hakchol fired back without hesitation. Ma Sang-chol collapsed into the corner, his body going completely still. Kang Hakchil slowly rose to his feet. I can't believe I nearly got dragged into such a ridiculous diversion. I suppose you truly have to experience the real thing firsthand. Ha Do-hyun groaned in pain. Ugh. Kang Hakchil turned sharply. Sergeant, are you all right? Blood seeped through Ha Do-hyun's fingers as he clutched his shoulder. It only grazed me. I'm fine, Ha Do-hyun replied through clenched teeth. I can still move. That wasn't just a graze, Kang Hakchil protested. You need treatment first. I can hold out using pressure points, Ha Do-hyun said steadily. Check that man's condition first. Kang Hakchil glanced towards the fallen attacker. It looks like that was his last round. So he really was out of ammunition. Ha Du-hyun muttered. He tore off part of his jacket and tightly wrapped it around his wound. Anyway, thank you, he added quietly. You saved my life. No, Kang Hakchil replied. I should have covered you better. I'll search for the other escaped convicts. Stand by for a moment. There can't be more than 2 of them. If there truly are 2, it could be dangerous for you alone, Ha Du-hyun countered. I can still use one arm. Let's move together.
Are you certain you'll be all right?
With that speaker blaring, the infected are probably swarming this way, Ha Du-hyun said grimly. We need to leave first. Those scoundrels are one problem, but there are far too many infected around here now. It's dangerous. If you see any protective gear, put it on immediately. Understood. A voice crackled through the radio. This is Bae Soon-ho. The North Concourse at Gunja Station has been breached as well. It's practically wiped out. Blast it, Ha Du-hyun muttered. Byung-jun, David, and I made it down to the underground platform, Bae Soon-ho continued. There was no way out, so we forced open the screen doors and moved onto the tracks. What? Ha Du-hyun exclaimed. The tracks should be crawling with infected. Where's young Minjun? Minjun went ahead, Bae Soon-ho replied hesitantly. He lured the infected towards Akasan Station. Yena got separated while running. We don't know whether she's alive or dead. Ha Du-hyun exhaled sharp.
We'll search for Yena, but you must protect Minjun no matter what.
Yes, sir, Bae Soon-ho answered quickly.
Don't worry about Minjun, Sergeant. Keep the radio open at all times, Ha Do-hyun ordered. Report immediately if anything happens. Understood. Blast it. Oh, Byung-jun whispered. Is Yena all right? I don't know, Bae Soon-ho admitted. The odds may be slim. There's no way back to the concourse. For now, we follow the tracks and find Minjun. A distant snarl echoed ahead. Ra, Gro. Minjun had better still be alive, Oh Byung-jun muttered. He talks boldly. Bae Soon-ho said he'll probably be fine. Sergeant David Briggs spoke firmly in English. Keep it as quiet as possible. Let's move. Please, stay alive, Minjun, Bae Soon-ho whispered. They advanced carefully along the rails. After a few tense minutes, Oh Byung-jun murmured, Thirth, there truly are no infected on the tracks. As expected, Bae Soon-ho replied. Perhaps we should have evacuated the survivors this way. He pressed the radio again. This is Bae Soon-ho. We're almost at the next station, Akasan Station. Sergeant, he's not responding. He'll be all right, won't he? Sniff. Oh Byung-jun struggled to hold back tears. We're going to make it, right? Don't speak such weak nonsense, Bae Soon-ho snapped, though his own voice trembled. You're making me nervous too. Now, the only person we can trust is David. I never imagined we'd rely on the United States Army in a situation like this, he added. If David rescues us, he said we'd go to the Okinawa base, right? Okinawa, Japan? Oh Byung-jun said faintly. Then perhaps I could even visit Akihabara in Tokyo. Be quiet, Sergeant David Briggs ordered sharply. Don't make a sound. I think I can see it, Bae Soon-ho said. Acheson Station. I still don't see any infected on the tracks, Oh Byung-jun observed. They approached the platform. Sergeant David Briggs peered towards a room near the entrance. Whoa, what the... Bae Soon-ho whispered. The screen doors are closed. Did Minjun trap the infected inside? Or maybe those inside were already there? No way, Oh Byung-jun said uneasily. Did he move on to the next station? Elsewhere, outside the ruined shelter. Kang Hakchil wiped sweat from his brow. So it finally spread this far. The shelter, Ha Do-hyun said quietly. It's been completely devastated. Do you think it can ever be restored? Kang Hakchil asked. Why would they go this far? Their comrades died because of us, Ha Do-hyun answered grimly. This is likely revenge. He listened to the eerie silence. And since we no longer hear gunfire, do you believe the rest are hiding or have fled? I think so as well, Kang Hakchil replied grimly. Then what do we do now? The survivors are probably scattered throughout the buildings. A zombie suddenly growled. Grah! Kang Hakchil looked into the distance. A massive zombie appeared. Ha Do-hyun turned and shouted, This way! Kang Hakchil followed. Yes!
Their footsteps echoed loudly. An office lady zombie screeched. "Bah," Kang Hakchol stammered. "Whew, what in the world?" Ha Du-hyun said. There was definitely nothing blocking this path earlier. "Don't shoot. Run to external gate number 10 and don't look back," Kang Hakchol asked. Should I support you?" Ha Du-hyun replied. "Both my legs still work, so just run." They sprinted away. "Huff! Huff!" Kang Hakchol panted, sweat pouring down his face. A few moments later, memories from his childhood flooded his mind. North Korean soldiers had chased them when he was young, alongside his little brother and sister. "Huff! Huff!" he gasped as he ran faster. Suddenly his younger brother tripped. "Hyung!" Kang Hakchol looked back. The soldiers were closing in. His brother lay helpless on the ground. If only I'd made a different choice back then, he thought. Could I have saved my little brother too? "Bah!" a zombie roared. Ha Du-hyun fell. "Coo! Sergeant!" Kang Hakchol shouted. Ha Du-hyun shot the office lady zombie in the face. Sweating on the ground, he pointed at the others and continued firing. Then he dropped the rifle. "Go on ahead, Hakchol." "What?" Kang Hakchol exclaimed. "What are you saying?" "I'll draw them away, so run." Multiple zombies howled, "Groa!" and rushed towards them. "Those things?" Ha Du-hyun said. "They're chasing me because they smell my blood. Take care of Jung Min-jun. No matter what happens, make sure he survives and gets to the United States. Run now." Kang Hakchol clenched his teeth. "The only family I've got left is my little sister." He remembered Min-jun running from a zombie. Did I change because of that man? Other than my sister, I swore I'd never risk my life for anyone else. Instead of fleeing, Kang Hakchol pulled Ha Du-hyun up. What are you doing?" "I'll support you while we move, so hurry." "You can't just die meaninglessly here." A zombie lunged closer. Kang Hakchol raised his rifle, switched it to automatic, and fired. He stopped shooting and helped Ha Du-hyun again. "Nagesh," Ha Du-hyun groaned in pain. "Don't give up, Sergeant." Another zombie roared, "Ma!" and tackled Kang Hakchol. His knife slipped from his hand as they crashed to the ground. Surrounded by the approaching undead, Kang Hakchol shut his eyes, sweat dripping down his face. Suddenly gunfire erupted. "This way, sir," a soldier shouted. They climbed into a jeep and sped away. Behind them, the athletic zombie girl shrieked, "Boo-ah! Kra!" Inside the jeep, Ha Du-hyun held his wound. Huff, huff. That was far too close. "Thank you, Hakchol. You've saved my life twice now." Huff, huff. Kang Hakchol breathed heavily. "Sergeant, please put me down." "What?" Ha Du-hyun stared at him in Wait. Blood dripped onto the bed of the jeep. "Kang Hakchol, you. Don't tell me you were bitten." Kang Hakchol looked down. The jeep continued down the street. He gripped his wrist tightly. A soldier turned around. "Whoa, what? You were bitten. Put him down right now." "Wait," Ha Du-hyun protested. Maybe it only grazed you or your skin was torn. There's no way you were actually bitten." "I'm sure," Kang Hakchol said quietly. "I'm certain. I'll be infected soon." "I'm sorry, Sergeant. May I ask one last favor?" "Shoot me. Please shoot me. I really don't want to become infected. I think I'd rather die." Ha Du-hyun lowered his head, sweat running down his face. He closed his eyes, clutching his hair in disbelief. A few moments later, at Yongvia new construction site, Kang Hakchol, the soldier, and Ha Do-hyun stood in silence. The soldier asked, "Are you really sure you want to do this yourself?" Yes, Ha Do-hyun. Here you go." The soldier handed it to him and walked away. Ha Do-hyun cocked the pistol and said, "I'm sorry, Kang Hakchol." Kang Hakchol said, "It's okay, Sergeant. On the way here, I met a certain professor." Ha Do-hyun said, "You mean the wife Haejun and Hak-young who came to the shelter with him?" Kang Hakchol said, "That family, right?" "Yes, that's right. I hope they're still safe." Ha Do-hyun said, "They evacuated to another building back then, so they should be fine." Kang Hakshol said. Anyway, that professor, he got infected just like me. He remembered Seo Yehun on the bed, and he said, everyone dies when their time comes. The only difference is whether it comes early or late. Kang Hakchol said, the professor probably said it that way to comfort Hajun. Those words resonated with me too. If the moment comes when I have to die. With that mindset, I think I could go more peacefully.
Now that it's come to this, I want to end it well, remembering the professor's words. Because everyone dies someday. Getting infected isn't the sergeant's fault, and shooting me isn't your responsibility either. So please don't blame yourself. Ha Do-hyun cried like a little girl. Ha Do-hyun said, Minjun and Yena. If I ever meet them again, I don't know what I should say about you. But more than anything, I'll stake everything I've got. I'll definitely find your younger sister. Kang Hakshol said, Sergeant, you don't have to do that. You don't need to live for others anymore. Ha Do-hyun opened his eyes full of tears in shock. Kang Hakshol said, I want you to survive until the end. For the rest of your life, please live only for yourself, so please don't make my death meaningless. Ha Do-hyun pointed the gun at Kang Hakshol. They were both silent. Kang Hakshol closed his eyes. Ha Do-hyun, sweating and crying, stopped aiming at Kang Hakshol and said, I can't do it. I just can't shoot you. He cried even more. Kang Hakshol said, I understand. Then, give me the pistol. Ha Do-hyun handed over the pistol and tried to stop crying. Suddenly he hugged Kang Hakshol and cried again on his shoulder. Kang Hakshol looked far away. They stood there silently. A few moments later, Kang Hakshol went inside the office container and sat beside the door. Kang Hakshol said to himself, Professor, in the end, I too became infected like you. After you turned into an infected, are you still there? What does it feel like to live as one? I don't have the confidence to live like that. Nor do I want to. Like you said, Professor, everyone dies someday. So I'll give up now. He pointed the gun at his temple and closed his eyes. He sweated even more heavily. Kang Hakshol said to himself, My life. He remembered his brother said, Jung. What happened? Kang Hakshol said, That guy betrayed us. He's trying to sell us out. I'm scared. His brother said, But what if one of us gets caught? Kang Hakshol said, What do you mean? You won't get caught. I'll protect you, even if I have to throw my life away. So don't worry. But if I'm the only one who gets caught, don't look back, just run. Got it? If I'm not there, Daechul, you must take care of our youngest. Daechul looked at Kang Hakshol silently a few moments later at the back alley. The North Koreans chased after Kang Hakshol and his siblings, shouting, Catch those people! Kang Hakshol ran and sweated, saying, Huff, huff. Suddenly Daechul dropped to the ground and said, Jung! Kang Hakshol looked back. The North Koreans closed in and Daechul lay on the floor. Daechul shouted, Don't look back and run. Jung, don't give up. Kang Hakshol was shocked and he ran away. He held his sister's hands and started to cry and run. Daechul, still on the ground, shouted, Never give up. In the present, Kang Hakshol teared up. He removed the gun from his temple and said to himself, Professor, like you said, everyone dies when their time comes. The only difference is whether it comes early or late. That means, if I give up now, it comes early. But if I don't give up, it comes late. He stood up. At the construction site, Kang Hakshol looked at the belt strap and said to himself, Professor, I won't give up. For my remaining family, for my younger sister. He used the strap as a tourniquet and pulled it tighter. He looked at the circular saw and said to himself, I will never give up on my life. Thank you for watching Rebirth Genesis. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you will not miss the next chapter of the journey. Your support keeps this rebirth going strong. Until next time, stay sharp and keep rising beyond your limits.